Chinese New Year. Before the guardian lines Earth and Sky came the original guardian lines that protected the Emperor. And this is a story from the book set over 2,000 years ago, just right for a Chinese New Year story. When all seems lost, look to the heavens. As Emperor Gaozu slumped to his knees at the side of his two dying lions, his wife, Empress Lu, stood by and watched motionless, her face fixed like a porcelain doll, devoid of any expression, only a glint in her eyes and a small crease at the corner of her mouth gave away something more sinister. The Emperor fell into a great depression. A gift from Persia, these lines had brought great happiness to the Emperor, but now they had gone, and a great cloud descended from the skies, over the lands, and reached into the hearts of the people. The heavenly beings watched over the Emperor to see what would happen next. The people prayed to the heavens for the Emperor to find his happiness once more, as he was usually a just, generous, and fair ruler. But in his pain he was cruel and unwilling. Hearing the prayers, 2 heavenly lions were sent to the Emperor as guardian lions to watch over him. The Emperor was delighted and thanked the heavens. These guardian lions brought great happiness to the Emperor, and once again he spread joy across the lands. However, on each Chinese New Year, a monster called Nian would ascend from the sea where he hid and attack the villages. This was a greedy monster who just loved causing havoc. Most of all, he loved eating children. Being greedy though, he would eat anything in his path. So at this time of the year, everyone would try to hide away for fear of being eaten, except for a few farmers who tried to protect their precious crops. The farmers did their best to drive the monster away, but it was no use. Unfortunately, Nian was so powerful and greedy that he had anything in his way, including some of the farmers. Once Nian finished with the farmers, he wandered through the streets, sniffing at doorways, market stalls and carts, looking for something to eat. The Emperor had made a promise to the heavens to protect his people from all harm. So he sent his best warriors, the guardian lions, to reason with the monster. When the guardian lions arrived at the field, they were met by a very fierce, very angry, and very greedy monster, Nian. Nian roared at them. He wasn't interested in talking. He just wanted to eat. His roar was so loud that it blew the roofs off the farmers' homes. The guardian lions were not afraid and did not move out the way. Nian spat fire at the guardian lions. The guardian lions took one step back and moved their paws in circles in front of their bodies, blowing the flames away. Nian was getting angry. He charged at the guardian lions, but they simply stepped to the other side out of the way. The monster tripped over and ate dirt. Nian got up, spitting out the dirt. He spun around with his spiky tail at the guardian lions. This time, they jumped into the air, one landing just in front of him and the other on Nian's back, pinning back his ears to make sure he could hear. "Why are you fighting with us, monster? Your fight is not with us. You are hungry, but you are also greedy, and your greed has made you blind to what you have done. Every year you come to the village and try and frighten everyone. You eat children and anything in your path, but instead of finding food, you have destroyed the crops and the farmers have worked so hard to grow. Now, no one has anything to eat, including you. Have you not heard of the mountain of abundance beyond the 3 seas? There you will find all the food you will ever need. Go now, and the heavens will help you find your way." Nian looked around. Seeing what he had done, he felt ashamed. He knew he was no match for the guardian lions, for they possessed great power. It was pointless fighting with them, and they meant him no harm. He was hungry and sorry. The villagers came out of their homes, banging pots and pans in celebration and waving red ribbons. Nian could not stand the noise, and he hated the colour red. With that, he bowed to the guardian lions and the people and ran away, never to return. Well, at least not back to the villages. In honour of the emperor for sending his two best warriors, the people of the lands held celebrations. Making masks and costumes of the lions, they danced to the beat of the drums, hung red lanterns and lit firecrackers to scare the evil spirits and monsters. Of course, the emperor's two guardian lions were very skilled. So skilled that they only needed to use courage and wisdom to help Nian, without causing him unnecessary harm. The guardian lions fought many battles for the emperor and helped protect the people from unhelpful spirits, creatures and monsters. The more they fought, the more would come, until there were too many for the guardian lions to fight alone. The guardian lions decided it was time to talk with the emperor. While the guardian lions were more powerful in kung fu abilities than the emperor, they also knew their place and considered themselves the emperor's servants, sent from the heavens to protect and serve. Upon arriving at the court, they bowed and waited permission to speak. "What news do you bring?" the emperor asked. "It's not good news, your majesty," said one of the lions. "We have fought with and won over the hearts and minds of 1,000 monsters and creatures, yet still more come." "I see," the emperor said. "This is not good news. I'd hoped that by now the monsters and creatures would know it was useless trying to fight against us." "We had wished this too, your Imperial Majesty. All we have fought with have retreated peacefully. Yet there are whisperings for your Imperial Majesty's throne." The emperor smashed his fists down on the table. "This is ridiculous! Who would dare challenge me with you two at my side?" "Agreed, your Imperial Majesty. We believe the reason for the vast numbers of monsters and creatures attacking the villages is to keep us away from your Imperial Majesty's side, to overwhelm us with numbers and to prove your Imperial Majesty unfit to rule." The emperor stroked his long beard to consider what the guardian lions told him. "This is a conundrum. What is your solution?" said the emperor. "We have been your Imperial Majesty's loyal guards for many years. It is our duty and honour to serve at your Imperial Majesty's side. Yet we alone cannot cover enough ground to keep your Imperial Majesty and the people safe. We should ask the heavens to send more lions to protect the people. What if the lions fell into the hands of the enemies and turned against your Emperor or the people we protect? Your Imperial Majesty, the lions won't be heavenly lions like us. They will be descendants of the heavenly lions. Each will possess enough skills to protect the lands, but not have our power. When we die, we will pass our power on to another keeper. Your Imperial Majesty will be safe all the time we are at your Imperial Majesty's side." Agreeing with this proposal, the Emperor handed the heavenly lions the royal seal to show the heavens to proceed with the plan. From then on, all the villages and lands had real heavenly lions to protect and bring joy. Not just the ones they made for celebrations, from masks and costumes. The Emperor Gaozu of Han had enjoyed a protected reign from his guardian lions for a number of years, but now it was time for him to die and pass on his legacy to his son, Lu Ying, who would become the Emperor Hui. After the death of his younger brother, Wu Yi, Emperor Hui becomes concerned for his own safety, in fear of his successors using the guardian lions for wrongdoing. So he had them turned to stone, but not before their spirit and power are hidden in waiting, for the descendants of the guardian lion to be ready to receive and harness the power. For nearly 2,000 years, the power of the guardian lions was passed down from guardian to protect the people of the lands and keep the peace. Now a fortune teller has given knowledge of the next passing of power to the warlord. The warlord wants to steal this power and become supreme ruler under the heavens. This brings you to the story of Earth and Sky in their search of courage and wisdom. So what does the story of the original guardian lion show us? Well, it shows us that when we're faced with difficult situations or even violence, that we don't have to respond in violence. That when we respond with courage and wisdom, we won't be causing or adding unnecessary harm to others. So I wish you a happy new year. May you find the courage to face difficult situations and the wisdom to do what's useful. And may you also have an abundance of luck for this coming year.